Okay, today I'm going to show you how to install one of these keypad deadbolt locks. It's pretty simple. You're going to get a battery that you're going to need. You're going to get a key, keep that. You got some face plates. You've got your bolt here, these two screws, these screws here, and there's 3 parts to it. All right? They come all put together. You got to slide these out. So you're going to have to pull this out of there. So you can try not to screw it up, all right? Because this is the back plate, that's the front plate, and this plate here is where you do your key stuff, and I'll show you how to program it afterwards. This is the back plate that you put on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on this right here, my back door, because I got a damn drug addict relative that broke in the house, so we're going to fix that situation. All right, here we go. First thing to do is take this off, so I'm going to do that and see if it fits. Hopefully, all you're going to need is a Phillips head screwdriver, all right? Because everything is Phillips head, as you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that should just come right out of there. And I'm hoping that this thing will fit in there. We'll see what happens. All right, I'm not going to bore you with taking all this off, but I just want to say make sure that you save these 2 screws because you may need them for the other one and make it a little bit easier to install. Okay, so this is the bolt. You see how those are right there? This is the bolt that goes into this hole here. You want to make sure that this part right there is down. So you're going to slide it in this way. That's the first step. Get that thing in there. And if you can see, it's telling you to keep it retracted. So you want to do that. I'm going to pull that off in a second. Okay, so now I've screwed that back in there. I got the bolt in. I got it right. It's down. It's a little greasy, so I got it in there. As you can see, it's in. I use the old screws because they work pretty good on that. It's nice and flush. Over here, if you look, this has to be on the down position. I've got it there. It says top on it, so you can't screw that up if you can read English. Next, I got to feed this through. You see this wire right here? That wire I got to put over the top because it's going to feed through the other side, and we're going to attach them together. So this is the keypad. And I'm going to set it right on here. But I got to feed that wire over, and then I got to turn this and push it through this little hole here, and now it's set on there pretty good. So it sets like that, as you can see. All right, now I got to put the back on. So we're going to go over here, and as you can see, I pulled this through. Okay, now I'm going to go over here. I'm going to grab my back. And I've got to feed that through this little hole. All right, so I'm going to just let it slide right through there. Then I'm going to let this come right through here. Now this is important. This has to be in this up position so that you can screw these 2 screws in. Okay, let me show you. This piece here has to be up so you can get these 2 screws in. Then you're going to hook this onto here, and I'll show you that in a second. But first I'm going to put the screws in. All right, so I put the 2 screws in. I'm just going to tighten them down. Don't use a electric deal because you don't want to tighten it so bad that it screws it all up. And this just basically will hold this on there once you get it in there. Do both sides. I don't want to bore you too much with this. I'll speed this up. So pretty much now we've got this attached to the door. You slowly go back and forth and just kind of get them a little bit tight. Just tighten them down a little bit. Just tighten them. Bam. Okay. Now it looks pretty square. Make sure that it looks straight. Now if you look on the other side, there's your keypad. And this is a little tilted, so we got to pull it over a little bit. So we want it, you want it to look flush. Okay, so I got to unloosen it to do that. Got a little bit too tight. There we go. Okay, now we're nice and even. Tighten her up. Okay, we should be good. Okay, next. All right, next what I got to do is, you've got this little connector, and you can see you've got 4 little connection spots. And if you look on this one, you can see where they are. So you've got to turn it so that you make sure that they go in those little holes and then snap shut. Okay, now that's done. So it comes with this Duracell. It's pretty simple. You just make sure you got the right sides on it. As soon as you connect it, if you've got your plug right, you'll hear a little beeping sound. Then what you're going to do is you're going to push it right in here. There, snap it in there. Now you got to get these wires smushed around so that they're straight. Okay, so now we're looking pretty good. All we got to do is put our plate on. So you're going to look at this part here, this here, and you got to feed it into this. So you just kind of look on there, and it slides right on. Then you're going to take your 2 screws that it came with. You're just going to slide them right in there. Just to make sure it seats right. And Bob's your uncle. Or maybe neighbor, I don't know. And there we go. Make sure you don't cross thread it. Should go in nice and easy. Tighten her down. Should go nice and easy. And tighten her down. Voila! Now, we're all set. All we got to do is program our code. And that's what we're going to do next. So, all of these locks come with a 6-digit code. That's the master programming code. Do not lose that. It comes out, it's a yellow sticker on the outside of this book. If you look, you're going to see enter the program code. So what you're going to do is you're going to put in your 6 numbers. You're going to wait for 3 orange lights to beep. Then you're going to press the little button on the top that's above the numbers. Then you're going to press 1, signifying that you're the master code. Then you're going to enter 4 numbers. You're going to see it beep 3 times. All right? Then you're going to do it again, and it's going to give you a green light, and you should be good to go. So that's how you do it. Very simple. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to enter in first a 6-digit master code that comes from your little booklet, and it's on a yellow sticker that's on the very front page at the top. Then you're going to see 3 orange beeps. After that happens, you want to press this, whatever, Schlage or whatever the hell that says. The keypad, this whole keypad here is going to turn blue. All right? Then you're going to press the number 1, signifying it's the master number for you, who's going to use it for later on to change things. And then you're going to enter your 4-digit master code for yourself. And you're going to wait, and you're going to see that button at top. It's going to blink 3 times orange. Then you're going to put in that same number, and you should see 1 green beep, and it should work. All right, let's try it.